So this time of the year, especially in the world of academia, students, parents, and teachers typically get really stressed out because of things that they feel like are overwhelming them, and they're not sure how they're going to proceed, and they're worried about whether or not they're going to achieve what they're supposed to achieve, whether that's from a teacher standpoint of getting the communication clearly to the student what they need to do and making sure that they actually do it, or if you're the student, if you're actually doing what you need to do to try and score well on the test, or if you're a parent trying to do the best to create a supportive environment so that your child can actually score well and do the things that they need to do in order to move forward towards their goals. And that is hypersensitive this time of the year. And so one of the things that we want to talk about is what can you do about that and take action on right now that's not going to just add stress, but that's going to alleviate stress and give you kind of an action plan to move forward. So we'll come back to 11 of the things that we go through in the Top 1% program, and hopefully this will give you some insight as to some things you can do right now to move forward. So in your everyday habits, just some of the things that you want to keep in mind. You make your habits and then they make you. So recording what you do habitually for a week will give you some feedback. Even a couple of days, you'll see where you're spending time, where you're wasting time, and where you can kind of revitalize your schedule with better habits. Mindset, the mindset of I can and I am. Growth mindset of understanding that short-term setbacks, that's fine. I have a big goal, and with my big goal, I can, come over these obstacles, and they're going to make me better. Food and nutrition. Your fueling needs to be timely and appropriate, which means if you have a tough day of studying and if you have a tough day of practice or training, you need to make sure that you actually have your fueling on point. So if you need more fuel, there needs to be more fuel in there, and it needs to be appropriate fuel. Decision making. How do you decide? Do they move you forward? And then when they move you forward, is there action followed by that decision? Because if there is no action, then there wasn't really a decision. It was kind of just a wish. Goal setting. More importantly, clear goal setting. What is today's goal? What is this week's goal? And then differentiating areas. So meaning, do you have a goal for school? Do you have a goal for sports? Do you have a goal for social? Do you have a goal for maybe financial or vocational? Organization and execution. How can you optimize your system? Your brain is not for storing everything. You need to use your brain to function. So that means don't leave it up to your brain to remember everything. Write things down in an appropriate system that's functional for you. Practice and training. How could you improve this practice or training today? What's your goal going into that training session? And then what did you do last time and how can you make that better? So improving on your system and your practice. Rest and recovery. What did you do for yourself today? Did you roll out? Did you do a meditation? Did you do yoga? Did you do training? What did you do? And did you actually recover with your sleep? Internal and external communication. Is your self-talk positive? Are you sabotaging yourself through your thoughts? And then do you have clear communication with others? What are you saying? What are you projecting? And then what are people saying back to you? And then getting clear on that communication so that you can move forward. Your attitude, number 10. Hope. Sweethearts and Heroes, Tom Murphy, those guys talk about hope all the time. Their acronyms, wonderful. Faith and gratitude rocks. So from the movie The Secret, we heard about the story with the guy with the gratitude rocks and how it was possessed such a healing power. And so you should look into that, find out what that means, but bring gratitude into your life. And then lastly, delayed gratification. Stick-to-itiveness and a Spartan-like attitude. So you have to understand there's going to be some times where you're studying, and that's not super fun, but getting a great grade on a test is super fun. So make sure that you understand that you're not going to have joy necessarily in every moment, but it's okay to understand that at the end of that process comes what you're looking for. So a couple things in summary. Stress less this time of the year. Focus on what you can control. Don't be worried about what you can't control. Surround yourself with people who are cheering for you with their actions and their attitudes and what they're saying. Let go of doubt, fear, negativity, and disempowering actions, environments, and people. It might be hard to do in the short term, but in the long term, it'll pay off. And then remember, as long as you can breathe, you can achieve. And to keep the faith, it's very important to understand, regardless of where you are or how stressful or troubling the situation may seem in the short term, This too shall pass, and you can take action right now if you get clear on your goals and stay positive and move forward.